Hello there, YouTube. Devin here again. First off, before we get into the video, I want to just thank all you guys so much for 1,600 subscribers, and for those of you who have donated money to either Mike B's live streams that I'm on or to my channel directly. I really appreciate it. Your money has gone very appreciated. This is actually being filmed on a brand new tripod, which is going to be a little bit more stable and is going to be a little bit nicer. You may not notice it right now, some differences, but this tripod's going to be a lot better for some upcoming projects that I think you guys will be very excited for. So I appreciate all that you have donated money. I've reinvested every single dollar of the stuff that I've sold that I've said would go to the channel, and even those of you who have donated money directly to help me, all that money has been reinvested back into the channel, and a lot of upcoming projects and everything else like that are in the works thanks to you guys. And the more money you guys donate, the faster and better videos I'm going to be able to put out here, especially with my hectic work schedule. So there is a donations link on the About page of my channel now. If you guys feel free to, basically any amount of money you feel like donating, it's a link right to my PayPal. It would go a long ways to help me out. It is by no means required at all. I don't require anyone to donate any money. You don't really get anything special out of it either at this moment, unfortunately, but it all goes back into helping the channel. Especially it's going to go a long way to help make these videos a little bit more frequent, as I'm going to need less time to be at work then. But right here, what we got in this video, what this video is about Swiss canteens. Now, as you can see, this is two very different Swiss canteens. We have a World War II pattern one and a World War I pattern one. And I'd very much like to show you guys some of the differences and similarities between the two, because the Swiss don't really ever get rid of anything. They kind of run all their shit into the ground, kind of like the Finns do, which is one of the reasons I really like them historically. So right off the bat, you can see some similarities in shape between these two canteens, which is why they continued with this design basically right up until the 80s. This was kind of the Swiss standard pattern of canteen for a lot of things anyways. It was replaced kind of in the 60s and 70s with a larger pattern canteen that would hang off the belt as far as or the equipment to drink out of, but these would stay with mess kits basically through to the 80s to hold your cooking water and stuff like that for the most part. So we'll get into it here. So as you can see, these are both fairly similar. I don't know how much these hold, but it's probably like 500 to 600 milliliters of water. They are both the cups are graduated. As you can see, this one here, this World War II dated one on the left. I'll give you the dates on all this stuff. So the canteen itself is made in 1940, and the cup itself is made in 1945. And this is a 1898 pattern Swiss canteen. It has a steel cup. Okay. The cup is, I thought it was dated somewhere. There it is, 1924 is where this cup is dated. And the canteen itself is an enameled piece of steel. This one is in immaculate condition. As you can see, the enamel has no chips or breaks on it. It even still has the nice stamp on it, letting you know that it is indeed enameled on it. Instead of having a piece of cotton cord, it has a leather strip that would hold the cup in place on this one. The cup is held in place with just a stud. The cup itself is steel. All right, they would later switch these to aluminum in the 30s, but this cup right here is steel. The canteen is also steel. It's been enameled. The cork holder and the cup retention strap are one single piece of leather that has been riveted to this little bit of metal that has been, I assume, welded in place and then enameled over. And the lanyard ring here for attaching it to gear and things like that is also probably welded in place and then enameled over. Has a nice kind of flared muzzle, as you can see there, and it is enameled fully white on the inside. It's a very good canteen. Probably quite fragile, but again, relatively inexpensive to make, and the Swiss used these for a very long time. Basically, like I said, up until the 30s. They used these from the late 1800s up until the 30s. The cork is held in place by this cap, which I assume would have a screw on it or something, just like the later ones that goes all the way through to this little divot, which would attach it and hold the cork together. There is a little eyelet put on here that is tied in place with a knot on the leather strap to hold the cork on to keep you from losing it. The cork is in relatively good condition. I assume it was replaced before it was put in storage at some point. But overall, excellent canteen. Like I said, probably made somewhere around in the 20s and never probably used, because that one is in beyond immaculate condition. I always find them and they have chips in them and stuff like that. That is, if you could find them, they have chips and stuff in them, and that one does not. And this one you've seen before on the channel. It is the handleless kind of later pattern cup. You can find earlier canteens with later cups, and you can find later canteens with earlier cups. It just kind of depends on which one you get. The cup is made out of aluminum, still graduated, holds the same amount as the older steel one there. The canteen itself, as you can see, is now rounded on the bottom, but still holds relatively close to the same amount. This water bottle is also kind of enameled in a way. The paint is, it's kind of like a bake-on type paint rather than just like a regular type paint. Same thing with the inside, and the attachment method for the cork is much the same way, although kind of simplified, as you can see here, and held in place with a piece of cotton tied to a loop rather than a piece of leather, because this piece of leather, if it were to break or wear out or anything, would have been very hard to replace in the field, and then your cup would be falling off your canteen, and it would be just a nightmare and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to for a soldier to replace this piece of string in the field than it is to try to re-rivet on a strip of leather to that one, which is, I'm guessing, why they went to this style. But it's an overall excellent canteen style. It works very, very well. Now, one good thing about these canteens is if you're looking to get one, they double as alcohol flasks. For those of you who drink, it's kind of a cool piece of history, as well as an alcohol flask to have one of these. They're cool alcohol flasks. And they fit in most pockets relatively easy, either cargo pockets or otherwise. These tend to fit in pockets and bags and everything quite easily. They travel very well, and they're quite watertight as long as you make sure the cork does not dry out. They work very, very well to cook out of and everything else like that. So I just figured I'd show you some cool pieces of a new piece of Swiss history. This you might have seen on some of the live streams at some point. I've had it just sitting on my kitchen table for a few weeks waiting to do the video on it, along with a ton of other shit that I have just not found the time to do. But I thought you guys might think this is cool, and I got some other mess kits and stuff to show you here, maybe when I get some time. But right now I'm waiting for a text that could come in any minute that's saying I gotta go do some stuff. But I appreciate you guys so much for getting me to 600 subscribers, and I appreciate those of you who have donated even more. Thank you so much to you all. I know you guys love this stuff as much as me. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions for future videos, praise, negativity, anything you want in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer your questions if I think they are worthy of a response. But until that time, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.